But yeah, I just... Denfur. Yeah. 2023. Let's do it. But either way, the Denfur experience, starting with Deathwolf. You gotta keep the important stuff in here, you know? My love, Deathwolf, the one and only. I'm sorry, but I love him. Let's actually get on to Denfur, with me waking up at 4 in the morning for my flight, which I had slept about 30 minutes prior to this picture. Yeah, I didn't really plan out my day the best when it came to getting ready for this flight. Because, like, I flew out, I think, at 5 or 6 in the morning to get there on the Wednesday of the con or before. So I wasn't the best in terms of mood because I had gone to bed at 3 and woke up 30 minutes after. This is what I look like after maybe a slight nap, maybe. And I got the first pumpkin iced coffee of this season, so I look a little bit better here. Yeah, I had no choice. I had to stop and get some coffee because I saw that pumpkin spice was back at Donkin. So I just had to. And it was delicious. It was really, really good. And it made me happy. It made me slightly better than how I was doing before this. This is like 30 minutes after the other pick. So yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, and then I went to the airport. So drove to the airport, checked in, was all good. Decided to get some breakfast, so I got a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. This was $8. And then I got a water bottle. This was $6. This was when I realized the weekend was going to be absurdly expensive and I'd hate my life. But I will admit it was a pretty good egg sandwich. I mean, it looked small, but it was really filling, I'll be honest. Oh yeah, and then I listened to this all throughout my flight. Look, I'm just saying, if you need something to listen to while you're on a flight, look into getting into like narrations for stories, specifically like creepypasta, like horror story narrations. And then there's, I think this is Denver. I don't know where I was, but I opened my window and took a nice photo, and this looks really cool. And just remember, no step. No step. And then I arrived in the airport and there was a little dink in my suitcase, but that's always been there. Either way, what happened next? Nova! We love Nova. I met up with Nova at the airport. They were there earlier than me. And we met up and we hung out. And yeah, that was pretty much most of my Wednesday, just hanging out with Nova. Whether it was at the airport getting food or whatnot. I really like their bag. I want that bag. And they were having a time. That's a good suitcase, though. The fact that you can, like, ride on it like that, that's pretty impressive. They're definitely having a good time. They're having a great time. Hi, Nova. You're in chat right now. Hello. Oh, yeah. And this is the weather in the upcoming week of Denver. It was awful. Yeah, this was probably the hottest furry convention I've ever been to. And I don't mean that in like another sense. I mean that quite literally in temperature sense. It was so hot, this con. Hottest con I've been to ever. There's Nova taking a selfie. I think we were waiting for our Uber. Nova took a selfie. I took a selfie. I'm so tired. Oh my God. You can see how dark under my eyes are. Oh, I was so tired. I didn't even sleep on the flight either because there was a child screaming on the flight for 2 hours straight. So I put in my headphones and watched Puss in Boots 2. And hey, that looks a bit better. I'm trying to pose. It's not working. You got some meme potential with these photos though, that's for sure. Oh yeah, I think the reason why was the sun was blasting in my face. The sun was getting in my eyes, so my eyes were shut. And then we're in Denver. There's the Starbucks we always go to. That's the Starbucks right next to Denver, right next to the hotel. And the hotel was like right over there around the corner behind my head. So you go around that corner and that's where the con is. But yeah, we made it to Denver. What did we do? So we Ubered over to the hotel. We got our room. We set down our stuff. And I think we went to Target because there was a Target nearby and we needed to get some water because it was so hot. So we went to pick up a case of water. So we went to Target to get said water. Yeah, I'm not explaining this the best way I can, but Target, we were just walking around the space of where the convention would be, and we found the Starbucks, and it was pretty cool. It wasn't cool, it was pretty hot, but you know, the Starbucks always came in clutch, I will be honest. And I took some pictures around the space. So this is right outside our hotel. as soon as you exit. Really nice view, to be honest. Like, I like the cityscape. I'm always a fan of urban architecture, of just as soon as you walk out of like a convention space or hotel space. And this is the case for me whenever I've gone to Anthro Northwest. Like, it's just right in Seattle. So, like, as soon as you walk out, you see all these, like, cities and buildings. And it's like, you could go to a Hard Rock Cafe if you want to. Not that I'm going to a Hard Rock Cafe. But just, like, I'm a fan of urban areas. And then we're at Target. Yeah, we actually went to Target. And we went around looking for water bottles and some other stuff. I think we got, like, snacks and mainly just water. A case of water. Then you could get Dead by Daylight for $40. I remember, wasn't it always only like $15 to get this game? Why is it $40 now? That's wild. And then we got ramen. To be honest, it was pretty good. I didn't know how to feel about it because I saw the reviews and I think there were only like hundreds or so because the place had like just opened or something. But in all honesty, like, this ramen was pretty good. But yeah, food was good. And there's the selfie from oh my God, that's terrifying. That is the face of nightmares. Throw that in a Five Nights at Freddy's game, you'll get the best jump scare ever. And then there's Nova taking a picture of me going in deep on the ramen. Look, I'm not letting that broth go to waste. I might not be a fan of the seaweed and the bamboo, not the seaweed, the bamboo, the mushroom, or the Naruto. Mostly what I enjoy is like the bean sprouts, the noodles, the egg, the shashu, the I don't know what I just said, the meat of it, and the broth not going to waste. And then there's me and Nova. We're just chilling in the room, and I think after this we went to get dinner. And then there's me getting ready to go out, taking some selfies, trying to be a bit more photogenic. And there's Nova walking on in. And then we went out and got food. I think that was our plan. Yeah. But yeah, I just like taking pics around a convention space of like the city, the area that we're exploring. It's just nice. Good memories. And like also just like the ambiance, if that makes sense. And then we went to 3 Margaritas, which, oh my God, it was so good. Yeah, this place was right by the convention space. That's where Nova and I went to get some food last second because I wanted tacos and I got fajitas and they were delicious. This place was really, really good. I think I went here twice during the convention. But yeah, this was just really, really yummy. There's Nova. I swear half the pics that I have on here are like out of context photos of my friends, which makes sense. You know, furry conventions for me are more about the experience, like socially, that I have with my friends and people that I meet there more than anything else. The food is a big part. Fursuiting and experiencing the convention is a big part, but most of it is like the social aspect with friends, which I'll talk about that later. And there's Nova with their big camera. They gave us chips and salsa. I think Nova got a pina colada. I got like a mango margarita, and it was pretty good. Yeah, that's what it was. This was pretty good, and that's a pretty sizable marg. Let's be real. And then we got queso fundido. That slapped. It was so good. Look at that cheese pull too. Just look at that. Nova was like, "You better take a picture of this cheese pull." And the fajitas. Oh my God, these are so good. It was so good. It doesn't look like it's sizzling in this photo, but it was. It came out like full on sizzling because you want your fajitas to sizzle. You want to see the smoke of the sizzle. So good. Oh my God. And then it came with all this stuff, like the guac, the rice, the cheese, the sauce. It was delicious. Full thing was so good. And then there was an alleyway right outside the restaurant. It looked very pretty with the art on the wall, the little graffiti. Next morning, it's Thursday. At that point, Light and Tibbs had arrived. My roomies, our roomies for the con, me, Nova, Light, Tibbs. But this is what we woke up to in the morning. This guy just staring right at us from the window. Oh my God. That's every single morning we woke up to that. But yeah, Thursday, nothing was really going on in the morning during the con. I think the con didn't really start until like Friday, but registration was later that day. So for most of this day, we didn't really have much to do. Not too many people were there yet, up until the point where we were going to register in that evening. So we kind of just, I think, screwed around, got some food, relaxed a little bit before the good times to come. Oh yeah, we went out to get some food, and I got some really good pics of the city. And then we went to the corner bakery because for some reason I was craving pancakes. And at this point, I think it was like 12:30 in the afternoon. We had slept in a little bit late. I got pancakes. Look at those pancakes. They were pretty good though. I'll be honest. They hit the spot. This is a pic of me out in the sun. It's so hot. And then more of the open space. This is a really pretty space. All things considered, like, I just really like the location that Denfur is at. That's why I kind of went back, because it was good the last few times I went. So like, that's why I went again. And I like it. I like the area. Also, look at the little rainbow in the glass right there. That's really cute. It didn't rain, but you know, you can see it in the picture that I took. Yeah. Either way. And then the convention space. I think after coffee, we went to see what was going on in the con space in the main hotel. This was us heading down. The Denfur 2023 banner on the way down the escalator. Light squatting. I think he was doing squats or something. We went like down here. There was nothing in the space. There were barely anyone around. So we went to this little couch in the corner and we sat there and played Pokemon Go for a bit. Not sure why. Empty space. This was the empty hallway of the convention space. But hey, you know, it makes for a good liminal space if you think about it. And there's me and Light. We're taking a selfie together. Look at how handsome he looks. Look at that warm smile. What a good dude. There's the roomies. There's all our roomies here. I love getting these photos where like all our fursuit heads are lined up. There's Nova, Tibbs, Light with his new fursuit head, another wagon bro, and then me. But yeah, after this, we ended up going to registration. Let me see where the photos go before I start saying like where we went and did stuff. And there's Nova walking past, completely judging me. You're judging something about me that I don't know. But yeah, there's the forecast for the next week. See, look, it hit 100 degrees. On Monday. We love to see it. And there's me partialing. So we were heading to registration. I decided for fun, because I wanted to do something fun, that I'd partial to reg. Another selfie in the mirror. That's my fit for the day. A lot of it was just me wearing tank tops. Tank top weather is like the best weather for me. And there's me at registration. See, I did that. I took a picture of myself at registration, and registration itself wasn't that bad. I think it couldn't have been any more than an hour, right? I lost track of time because I was playing a lot of Pokemon Go with people around, and also playing Pokemon Go and trading with Light. Honestly, I don't think it was any more than an hour. I think it was maybe 45 minutes tops too. But for registration on like day one of the con, it wasn't that bad at all. It was pretty good. And there's me like 15 minutes later with my fursuit head off taking a selfie. And another selfie with the dog in the second line at registration. And then the picture from breakfast earlier that day. Why do I look like so menacing? He bit me. He bit me. Okay, what's going on here? Oh yeah, this is a mozzarella triangle. Okay, so after registration, we wanted food. So I think we ordered Giordano's, which there is a Giordano's right by the con. So we went to pick it up. We had some deep dish pizza. I wanted some mozzarella triangles for some reason. And look at that cheese pull. That's a good cheese pull. That was a good cheese pull. And then this was me after. Wait a minute. Was I inebriated during this? Yeah, I think I had a soju or something before this. After food, Nova and I wanted to explore the con space to see like what parties were going on, or to see what was going down, or any fun stuff like that. So I think I had some soju. I definitely had some soju. And then I went out and about with them, and we had a pretty good night. But this is a pic that I took on my way out. So yep, it's happening. It's happening. I guess we fast forward to the next morning. So yeah, next morning, what happened in between? There has to have been more, right? That couldn't have been all that happened Thursday night, just me taking a selfie in the con space. I could have sworn I took more pics. It just fast forwards to the next morning. I guess I just went back to our room and passed out. And then the next morning I was craving pancakes again, so I got pancakes. Yeah, we're on to Friday morning now. Friday of the con. Oh yeah, we went to Starbucks. Pretty much the same routine goes throughout this con. We get breakfast or some sort of like lunch or brunch, go and get coffee, and then we either go to the convention space or we go back to the hotel room and chill before we decide to go to the convention space. And then rinse and repeat until like something goes on. That's a lot of what Denfur like was for us. But we went to Starbucks. I got my little coffee and I took a picture of myself. Look at how hot it looks out. The sun is blazing on the back of me. It's so hot. Why did I wear a shirt that day? I should have just worn a tank top. And there's a selfie of me. I think I'm going out to partial suit. I don't know where I was going or what I was doing. I think we were just going to the convention space after getting breakfast and coffee. So yeah, right. We were going to Dealer's Den to see what was going on there because the Dealer's Den had just opened up. So we went to go and see what was going on there. Okay, I don't know what the context of this is. I think Frey saw this photo in like a group chat and sent it to me. I don't know what I was doing, but I was really enjoying that coffee. Like really, really enjoying that coffee. So, and there's the convention space while it's all popping off. Look at it. There's so much energy here. Oh, it makes me so happy to see. Look at all the fursuiters walking around. Look at all the dealer booths. I can't tell if this is like the artist alley or like a secondary dealer's den space or overflow dealer's den space. I don't know which one it is. Regardless, it's nice seeing this area with life. I love it. But yeah, went to dealers. And then I saw Kiosh. I love Kiosh. He's one of my favorite Walfs. I love him. And then the absolute unit, the alligator. I want one of these. I want one. But they all sold out like the second day into the con. We went back the second day and they were just gone. But look at that absolute unit. It looks so cozy. And we found the badges. The con, like, badges. What were they called again? Social badges? The convention social status badges? Not social status. That sounds weird. But yeah, I saw these little 3D printed badges at the con. And I saw easily overwhelmed. And that's totally me. Lights pointing to it too. I feel that. Wagon Bros. This is a nice photo that we took in the elevator. Oh yeah, and then I got to meet Zero. That's what happened after. I got to meet Zero because we were on our way back. And when we were heading up the escalators, I saw Zero. And I'm like, I'm not letting you out of my sight because the amount of times that I have been to a convention... Okay, well, that's what followed. Okay? Didn't mean to click so easily. But the amount of times that I have seen Zero at a con and just didn't get to say hi because I was busy, like I made it my mission. As soon as I saw Zero, I was going to say hi to them. And I did. I got a nice selfie with Zero, got to meet him. He's an absolute sweetheart, by the way. And then he also showed me his paws, which look at how massive those paws are. Look at that. He was walking around with those things all throughout the con. First off, that's impressive. I don't even know how you manage to like walk up the stairs with those things. That's just impressive to me. But yeah, I got some nice pics with Zero. I just kind of did the thing. I'm like, hey, is it okay if I do the thing? And he immediately knew what I was talking about. So I just like put down my bag, laid on the floor, and he showed me his paws. Steppies! Yeah, I'm just living my best life. Can you blame me, though? Can you really blame me? Okay, yeah, so what happened? After the dealer's den and we were heading back, we wanted to get food before a panel that I was going to go to, or a meetup sort of thing that I was going to go to, which you'll see pics of it later. We were hungry and we wanted to get some food, so we went to the burger bar, and it was really good. They have some good shakes, some spiked shakes. They were very delicious. There's a picture of me in the restaurant, so you know that I'm there. See, this is where I said I'd take more pictures of me at a convention and in restaurants and where I am. Truffle fries, so good. Banger. So really, really delicious. The wings, really dry. In all honesty, they were really dry. It seemed like they were air fried after they were cooked or something. They were just really dry. The sauce was good. The wings were hit or miss. Take them or leave them. I still ate them because it was good food and the sauce was pretty good. Just really dry. Burger, so good. Oh my God. I can't remember which one I got either, but it was really, really delicious. And then the panel after. Yeah. So after we got our food, we were going to relax because I had a sort of panel or event that I wanted to go to and attend to see what was going on with it and to sort of give it a second shot. And it just so happened to have been an inflatable ball panel. I went to this inflatable ball suit meetup akin to the same one that I went to at TFF, which that one was more of just someone had one of those suits and brought it to a party. So I saw this going on the con schedule. I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot again. Because if you remember, from the last time I was in one of these inflatable ball suits, it was at TFF. I was at a room party. It was really hot. The suit was a lot bigger for me, and it was kind of oversized, and it didn't really fit me as well. It was really big, so I had trouble breathing and adjusting to it properly. So not the best scenario. So I thought, you know what? This one is in a controlled environment in a panel room by someone that is very experienced with wearing one of these. So let's give it a shot. I tried it a second time. I tried on the inflatable ball suit a second time. Such a night and day experience. Not saying the one at TFF was bad. I thought it was pretty cool and very interesting. This for me, was very, very comfortable. I had a lot of fun trying this thing on. And this was one of the cutest pics that I got while in the suit. But yeah, I got to try the inflatable ball suit again, and it was very, very cozy. Look at Levi. He's just doing a cute little gremlin blep. See, that's what I like about it. It's just like the cute facial expressions you make in fursuit while in this thing. Very, very nice. This is what it looks like from a distance. It inflates pretty big. It was pretty cozy. This is like super fun. This is like one of my highlights of the con, just like getting to exist in this. It was really fun. And there I am before it all inflates. See, look at how baggy it is. 10 out of 10, would try again. And then the next morning, all I know is that evening was really fun. I got to see a bunch of friends. I wasn't fursuiting at that time. I was handling for Nova, hanging out with them. And overall, it was just getting to say hi to people that were at the con that I hadn't seen in a while. So fast forward to the next morning where I am existing right there. I don't remember what the plan was, but it's officially Saturday for the convention. Saturday of Denfur. We're excited. What did Saturday have to offer? A nice selfie of me in the bathroom. I did my hair and it looks really good. See this is my ideal hairstyle that I want to go for. For some reason, it took me so long, but I was finally able to nail it here. I was finally able to nail it, and I'm so happy about it. I look so good in that photo. The only thing I got to do is just shave the growing in mustache and beard. But, you know, other than that, it looks pretty good. Then after that, some selfies on our way to lunch, which I think we were going to a sandwich place that Light had found, and we were just on our way over there to grab something to eat, so this is us just screwing around, taking selfies and pictures. There's Light being a gremlin. We love that. Eat well, be happy. I can't remember what this place was called that we went to, but honestly, this soda was really good. This is the best sandwich I've had all year. I'm not even joking. It was the best sandwich I've had. It was so delicious. Every flavor in this was so good. Yeah, sandwich, and then photos outside on our way to the convention space, I think. What happened next? Coffee. I did my little not selfie, but picture of coffee. Post it to Instagram. What happened next? Convention space. We were going into the dealer's den again. This is probably the most poppin' I have seen Denfur at all this weekend. I'm not even joking. This is probably the most energy I've seen throughout the con space throughout the weekend. That Saturday when people were going into dealers, because there was a line to get into dealers. So a lot of people wanted to head in and we were waiting in line. So I took these pictures and they were good pictures. And there's dealers with all its blurriness because I was taking this picture while I was moving. So probably not the best time to take it, but you know, dealers looked pretty good. And then there was this giant plushie. Can't remember her name, but I know she's from Five Nights at Freddy's and people love her. And so I took a picture of it. Giant plushie of this character. I think it sold out like 30 minutes later. Someone bought it, which makes sense, but it's a pretty big plushie, let's be real. And should have bought this. I saw it, but I didn't buy it because social anxiety. But yeah, this badge applies to me. Gay for Deathwolf, yeah, that's just me. And then the convention space as we're heading out. And then a selfie of me because I don't remember where we were. But I think after Dealer's Den, there wasn't much else going on or many people to like say hi to or talk with, so we just went back to our hotel. Again, same routine. We check out something in the convention space, and when stuff isn't going on, we head back until something is going on, when we know there's something going on or we need food or something. Oh yeah, Light got into full suit, and then he sat there in the chair, and then he realized how hot it was, and then got out of full suit. But double rainbow, look at that. Look at the double rainbow that happened. I think it rained for a little bit. We waited for the rain to clear, and then we went back to the convention space, and we saw a double rainbow. And then there's my view from the space. I think there was a Potbelly sandwich shop there. There was the Noodle and Company right there. So this is the whole like space, the little outlet mall, separate outlet mall closer to the con. So like there's a lot to do and a lot to eat nearby the convention space. So yeah, just so you know, food options are pretty good for this furry convention. Oh yeah, and then we went back to the hotel, and on our way we went through that little outlet mall next to the burger bar. This is where the Hot Topic was to our right. There was a limo right there with a red carpet that led out to the Hot Topic. It was really weird, but I didn't get a picture of it for some reason. I don't know why I didn't get a picture of the Hot Topic sign, but there was a Hot Topic right there, and there was a red carpet that led out to it. It was so weird. But yeah, after that we went back because it was about to storm too. There was lightning outside our room. It was lightning-y outside. You can see that big storm cloud. So we waited and hung out a little bit before I think we were gonna get into suit and go around the convention space for like one big night, because I don't know if we were doing that the next night, but And there's me getting into fursuit with Nova behind me. And there's the Poggy Doggy all dressed up and ready to go out. Look at how good I look. I had my harness on and then my collar on. I looked really good in it. I'm gonna be honest, I think that harness was a really, really good choice. I'm glad that I picked it up. And a nice close-up selfie. And then me, I think with my head off, after we went to the con space. I can't remember what happened, but I think I just went around the convention space, got some nice photos with friends. We went to the Headless Lounge immediately after because it was super, super hot and I was in full suit. And overall, it was just kind of going around, hanging out with friends and saying hi to people. That was really it. All in all, it was a pretty good night. It was just socializing and saying hi to friends, hanging out with friends for fursuiting. It was really all I could ask for. And look at that, a nice little selfie with me, Tibbs, and Light. That's so cute. So cute. And then the next day, we're on to Sunday, I think, where I'm up and out and about, and it's really hot, and I think we're on our way to get coffee. No! We were on our way because we wanted some brunch. It was like late morning, I think like 11:30 or so, where we had gotten up. We wanted to go to this place called the Delectable Egg that was right by the convention space, and we heard good things about it. I was in the mood for some Eggs Benedict because that's one of my favorite breakfast items ever. We went there, and the wait was an hour or so. So we turned around and we're like, okay, so maybe not that place. Let's find another place. So this is the picture that I take of the space. Pretty cool. Nice pictures overall. Picture of me when the egg isn't delectable. So this is me after being disappointed because I didn't get to go to the Delectable Egg, and I really wanted to because I was in the mood for Eggs Benedict, but we found a place that was even better, called Earl's. It was some restaurant that we had walked by a bunch of times when going to and from the con that we didn't really pay too much mind to until we decided to just go in and try it. And honestly, it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was probably, for me, it was like fancy food. Oh my God, I'll get into it. But basically, it's just a restaurant that we kind of walked by a bunch of times throughout the con. We didn't see, like, whenever we went by, we didn't see any furries near there or at the restaurant, which made us think like, okay, maybe it's like too expensive, or it's not like a place that furries go to, or maybe it's not that good. But we tried it because they had a brunch menu and brunch was still active. So we were going to go in on brunch and it was so good. Look at how excited I am looking at that menu. I'm so excited for brunch. I got an Arnold Palmer. Look at those ice cubes. They're so perfectly square. That's when I realized I was in for a good time. I was in for a very, very good experience. We got a crab cake for an appetizer, and it looks so good. This is like the fanciest dish I've had in a while. I think it's the fanciest dish I've had all year. Like, I don't go to that many fancy restaurants or places to eat. So this was really good. This looked really, really fancy, and it was delicious. And then I got Eggs Benedict. Oh my Lord, it was so good. 2 eggs Benny on toast with half an avocado, a nice little salad with vinaigrette and potato wedges. Everything was so good. I was so happy with this. The Eggs Benedict was so delicious and it made me so happy. Look at how good it looks. Look at that cut. Look at the egg yolk running out of it. Oh my God. I love this. Look at... You know, if an Eggs Benny does this when you cut into it, it's going to be a banging Eggs Benny. You know it's going to be a good one. And then we got a white chocolate creme brulee. That shit slapped. It was so good. Oh my God. Literally everything at this restaurant was so, so good, and I enjoyed it a lot. Look at how excited I am to eat this creme brulee. But yeah, I just... Oh, we need a little animation of this. We need an animation of this so bad. Oh my God. And then we got coffee, of course. I had to get coffee. Bucks! Our bucks! We love it. But yeah, convention space. I think this was right before or during closing ceremonies. Yeah, because we went back to the con space to see like what was going on before we went to get more food. Again, this is happening over the span of hours, these pictures, by the way. So we went to see what's in the con space, said hi to some peeps, and just kind of existed to see like what was going on. So dying down a little bit. People were like going back to do whatever, whether it was back to their room for like later that night. Regardless, we saw some people. This is the convention space. It's kind of popping off, I'll be honest. It's got a lot of fursuiters, people going around. It's very nice. There's the pool toy lounge area. Not the lounge, the pool toy room. And then the badge that someone made for me. Okay, I feel bad. I always forget their, like, actual name. I thought it was something like Axel or something at one point. But this individual, they go by Breast Biscuit on Twitter. Amazing Twitter by the way. Amazing Twitter handle. I love it. They made me this varsity jock badge for Levi, and I love it so much. I thought they originally did this for me as like a cute little art piece, but they did a full-blown badge for me and gave it to me that con. And oh my, I love it so much. This is like one of my favorite badges. I'm going to wear it with me whenever I go to conventions going forward. It looks so good. Like the photo doesn't do it justice because it's got like a reflective like gradient on it in the background. It looks so nice. I love it so much. Love this art so much. A couple of pictures of the con space. Not much else happens this day. Just little spoilers. I don't even like Fursuit around this Sunday evening. It was kind of dead in some ways, but not really. I say that when you see this picture of people at the con, but regardless, I went to the Furry AI, Furcon AI thing and got a picture of myself. There I am, looking all flattered. Oh, and then the art that someone did for me. So this is by Bun Babies on Twitter. They did this cute little drawing of my character. So remember that little blepping art piece of Levi in the inflatable suit? They did like an artist rendition of that, their own drawn version of it. It looks super cute. Look at the gremlin energy. I love it. Look at how much of a gremlin he looks. He would totally do this. I love it so much. And then later that night, what happened? So light went back. Nova was hanging out with friends, so I was kind of doing my own thing, and honestly, I was kind of chilling that night. I was watching a lot of videos back in the room, looking at memes and whatnot, scripting stuff for, like, future videos, because everything was kind of low energy. I didn't really want to go back out into the heat, or, like, go back out to the con space, since I didn't really know anyone there, like, for the rest of the con, so I was just kind of, like, existing. So I decided later that evening at, like, 10 p.m. on Sunday to go back out. It was very pretty, it was very clear, and actually a lot cooler out, so I got some nice pictures of the outside. And this is the con space at 10 o'clock at night on the Sunday of the con, which I know, you know, it's past the con being a thing at that point. It's well over at that point. They're wrapping up the con, but it was a ghost town. This is like the con space that like 4 hours earlier, not even, it was filled with people. They had completely cleared out this space. This is like a furry convention liminal space. It was like barren and empty. It was kind of crazy to see, especially on the Sunday of a con. It cleared out fast. And then this was me heading back because after I went through the convention space and I didn't really see anyone around and I didn't hear back from people about like parties or stuff going on, I just kind of went back to the room. So I got some pictures on the way back. And then the next morning, Monday morning, where we're checking out, I look exhausted. But Nova and I were just heading downstairs to drop off our stuff before we hung around, saw what people were doing before we had to leave for our flights, which my flight wasn't until 12 in the morning and theirs wasn't until like 2-3 hours earlier. So we had a lot of time on our hands to kill. And so for most of the day, I just kind of spent it working, like getting video scripts done, contacting people about like art for videos or like researching stuff or plans for videos. But it was just kind of low key and seeing who was around. But this was Monday morning where Nova and I were on our way down in the elevator, me taking selfies. But overall, that was Denfur for me. The experience I thought was pretty fun. I had a good time. I got to hang out with friends. I got to do a couple of things around the con. It was more or less just like exploring, seeing what was going on. And when there wasn't much going on, it was going back to like my hotel room and just existing or trying to fursuit in the severe heat that was going on. But like, I don't really go into furry conventions with like high expectations. The only thing that I really want to do is like hang out with friends, socialize with them, fursuit around, get good food, and have a good time. And I get to do that pretty much every time I go to a convention because I go with friends. But like, I don't know, just this con, it wasn't over the top spectacular like other conventions, like FWA, one of my favorite conventions I've been to, hands down. This con was just kind of another convention, if that makes sense. It was just kind of okay. Overall, it was fun.